Alright, y'all, welcome back to the channel. The Houston Rockets are officially out of the playoffs. There's no making the play-in. There's no making no postseason for the Houston Rockets this season, and that is okay. As the making of this video, they're 39-40. They just got a good win against the Orlando Magic, but as of right now, they are 5 games behind the Golden State Warriors, a team that they were trying to catch to potentially make the play-in, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case anymore.
Warriors, come out to play!
At the beginning of the season, I did have this Houston Rockets team as an 11th seed, and as they're currently sitting right now, they're at the 11th seed, and it doesn't look like they're going to be going anywhere, considering the Utah Jazz are 10 games behind them, and they're not going to be catching up to the Warriors, as we all know. And I did say in that video that I believe that this is a perfect spot for the Houston Rockets, solely because you're only looking to win games. You're not necessarily looking to be in the playoffs. They were making a play-in push. That is exactly what the Houston Rockets need. From what they were a couple seasons ago to who they are now is night and day. And this is exactly what I have been waiting for this Houston Rockets team. And to have the possibility of finishing 500 after the past 3 seasons that you guys have had, that's something to applaud. That is something to be proud of as a Houston Rockets fan, and this is exactly what I said in my video. The past 3 seasons for the Houston Rockets have been disgusting, and they've all been under Stephen Silas. Only 3 seasons. This man has the worst 3-season stretch out of any Houston Rockets coach ever. They were 17-55 in the 2021 season. In the 21-22 season, they got even worse. They were 20-62. And then the season after that, the 22-23 season, they improved. They improved by 2 games. They were 22-60. That gives this man, Stephen Silas, a coaching record of, get this, 59-177. That is the worst stretch out of any coach that has had 200 games or more. They were disgusting. They had me on this channel calling Jalen Green a highlight hunter. They were making me believe that they were just a rental team. They were like, what's that shit called? What's that shit called when you working part-time at a job that you gotta work for a while? A temp agency. I thought the Houston Rockets were a temp agency for 3 long seasons, and I was watching them closely because, as you guys know, I have a friend that is a fan of the Houston Rockets. So now that they're winning games, it makes me want to watch them even more. And now that we've gotten to a point around the 2023 offseason where they have money that they need to spend, they go out and they get Fred VanVleet. They go out and they get Dillon Brooks, Jock Landale, Jeff Green. Vets that can help this team win games, and they've been needing. It's not even just them winning games. It's teaching these young guys how to play the game of basketball at the highest level. That's what they needed, because Stephen Silas was not that. Alperen Sengun, you guys see the leap that he's making right now? This was supposed to happen last season under Silas, but he just would not play him. I remember telling my friend, hey man, they were about to win this damn game, and he pulled Alperen Sengun. I believe it was against the Clippers. They were on the brink of winning this game, and they pulled this man. They ended up losing, and I had to sit there and I was like, this is his last season as a coach. There's absolutely no way that Stephen Silas still has his job, and lo and behold, he stepped down, or he got fired. I don't remember which one. As long as he's gone, that's fine by me. I think right now he's in Detroit, which is funny as hell because Detroit sucks. But as the Houston Rockets got Fred VanVleet, Dillon Brooks, all these vets that they've been desperately needing, they drafted Cam Whitmore, and in the midst of this whole entire Stephen Silas era, they got Tari Eason, they drafted Alperen Sengun. They have the recipe to win basketball games, but they just can't because their coach is in the way. They decided to hire Celtics legend Ime Udoka. And that right there is all I needed to know, that this team would be competing by the end of the season. And that is exactly what they have been doing. Alperen Sengun has been on a tear. Tari Eason, before he got injured, was looking like one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. And I don't just mean that by eye test or bias. It feels like Dillon Brooks has found a home in Houston, something that wasn't there before in Memphis. They drafted Amen Thompson. he has been great. He came into the league as a point guard. It looks like he's coming out of this first season as a point forward. Even Cam Whitmore off the bench has been great. Jock Landale has been looking decent. But there is a guy that now is looking great that wasn't looking great before. It's Jalen Green. I gotta talk about how Jalen Green has been this whole entire season because it's been completely up and down. Jalen Green in his third year has not been the year that we all thought he was going to have. I truthfully thought that Jalen Green was going to come out and average 24 to 25 points a night under Ime Udoka. Right now, he's averaging a good 20 points, 5 rebounds, sub 4 assists on terrible efficiency. 42 from the field, 33 from the 3, and 80% from the free throw line, which is a career high. So I will give him that. However, he had this stretch in December where I was just like, there's no way he's staying on this team past the deadline. I truthfully thought that they were going to be moving off of Jalen Green and just Alperen Sengun go, just flourish, break out. That's what I thought was going to happen because he was playing this bad. In the month of December, Jalen Green was averaging 15 points, 4 rebounds, sub 3 assists on 37% from the field, 32% from the 3, and 82% from the free throw line. Every single one of these games he started, but these minutes are hella skewed because Ime Udoka was like, if you're going to be playing like this, I will not play you. He did want to be coached like this. His whole entire team was allowing Ime Udoka to coach them the way that he needed them to be coached in order for this team to succeed. So Jalen Green was fine with this. But I'm looking at games where he played 23 minutes. I'm looking at a 25-minute. I'm looking at a 22-minute. I'm looking at a 19-minute game that this man started in an L against the Indiana Pacers. Jalen Green had one of his worst stretches in his whole entire career, and I genuinely thought that his time in Houston was going to be over in the next couple of months. Things that this man has been doing now, he had a stretch, bro. In the infamous 11-game winning streak that the Houston Rockets went on, Jalen Green averaged 30 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, and he did this on 50 45-74 splits. That right there is something that Jalen Green has never done ever in his career. So we go from Jalen Green having one of the worst stretches of his career to one of the best stretches of his career within 3-4 months. A lot of people will be like, oh my God, Jalen Green, he's done this before. We've seen this. He did this at the beginning of at the end of his first season. I remember it vividly. He did this at the end of his second season. So I was like, I am not surprised if Jalen Green goes on a stretch where he's just looking like second coming of Christ. I'm not going to be surprised. And that's exactly what he did. But at the same time, the things that this man is doing, he was not looking like this before. From what I have been watching, it feels like he's playing with just a more methodical pace instead of speeding shit up. He can slow it down, make the right play. He's not just chucking up shots and scoring the basketball. He's playmaking it as well. He's finding a Men Thompson and dunker spot. He's finding the mismatch. These are things that Jalen Green has been doing. But I do believe next season is the season of Jalen Green. I do think he comes out and averages 25 next season. I really do believe that. But with this resurgence of Jalen Green and the 11-game winning streak that we all know happened, Alperen Sengun wasn't playing for like 9 of those games. And a lot of people are saying, oh, Jalen Green, it looks like he's better without Alperen Sengun. It looks like they might have to trade one of them. And in my personal opinion, I don't think that that should be the case. Now, if you would have asked me this back in February, oh yeah, go ahead, trade Jalen Green. This man's gonna be wanting some sort of big bag when it comes to his contract extension. You gotta move off of him before the trade deadline. Turns out that they tried to do that. They offered Jalen Green and multiple first-round picks for Mikal Bridges. Obviously, the dumbasses in Brooklyn decided not to go ahead and do it. I personally believe that they need to keep these two together and treat these guys like Jokic and Murray. Poor man's Jokic and Murray. However, I'm not saying that they need to force it. I'm not saying that they need to force Jalen Green to work well with Alperen Sengun. I would love to see this through. I think that they should see this through as long as humanly possible. But if it comes down to it and you get the right deal, You gotta move off of one of them. Me personally, I prefer to move off of Jalen Green. Before they went on this winning streak and before Şengün went down in the Kings game, he was playing good next to him. They were complimenting each other, and I was watching it happen. Now, in my personal opinion, I believe that you need to go into next season with Şengün and with Jalen Green in hopes that they can work together for the whole entire season instead of just stretches of the entire season. I would love to ride the Şengün Green train. Pause. That sounded crazy as hell. I'm not gonna lie. But I would love to see this duo get to the playoffs or even make it to the play. Like, you haven't even seen that yet. So to say, oh, one of them needs to be traded because both of them can't play together, it reminds me of a duo in Boston that people were saying couldn't play together. I think that they should wait it out at least until the trade deadline next season. And in my personal opinion, I think the best thing they need to do is wait till next offseason. Not this offseason, but the one after that. And a lot of people will be like, oh, well, how are the Houston Rockets going to improve if they don't trade Jalen Green? If they don't trade an Alperen Şengün? How are they going to see this thing through? How are they going to get to the play-in or even get to the playoffs? I say all this to say they have guys coming back next season. They traded for Steven Adams. They have one of the best perimeter defenders statistically in the league in Tari Eason coming back next season. We're expecting a leap out of Jabari Smith. We're expecting Jalen Green to take a leap. We're expecting Alperen Şengün to even get better than what he is right now. Even he's going to be coming back next season. This team is going to be good. I personally believe that this team is going to be in the playoffs next season. And to make Houston Rockets fans even more happy, they got a lottery pick right now. And that lottery pick comes from the Brooklyn Nets. So, Brooklyn, you did it again. Your picks are going to somebody else. I promise you right now, the Houston Rockets are on the Boston Celtics trajectory. Because the way... I'm sorry, bro. The Brooklyn Nets just do it to themselves. They do it to themselves. And the Houston Rockets are thriving off of it. They're the second team to thrive off of the Brooklyn Nets downfall. And I love to see it. So if there has to be a team that I am oh so looking forward to next season, it is 1000% the Houston Rockets, because they will arrive next season. In 2025, you will see the Houston Rockets back into the playoffs. And I think that that is exactly what everybody else wants to see. Let me know how you guys feel about the Houston Rockets. Let me know if Jalen Green or Alperen Şengün should get traded. Maybe you guys agree with me. Maybe they should stay. Leave it all in the comments below. Sound off. And I'm going to sign out. I'll see y'all later. I'm out. Peace.